Hello everyone, welcome to the extension site orientation, and I'm gonna uh, go over a little bit about what we'd like you to do here. Just to introduce myself, my name is Christian Martinson. I am over the undergraduate programs here at Moody and work obviously very closely with our extension sites, and so I wanted to give a brief video just saying hello and walking you through just what we want you to do here and why we have it available for you. So if you're watching this video, you're probably already logged in here to this Blackboard course. I call it a course because this is obviously not an academic 4-credit course, but we put it in Blackboard so that you're using it kind of in the same way as you would use an actual paid to take course. And the idea is that all of you guys in extension sites specifically that are basically taking our online courses in a classroom face-to-face with a professor, we'll probably have that explained in some of the sessions that you'll watch here, or if you've already taken a course, you've probably had that explained to you. But basically, you are pursuing a distance learning degree here at Moody, which is an online degree, but you have the benefit of taking it at an extension site where you've got a face-to-face classroom experience with the professor. So all our extension sites are structured that way, but with that, we want you to clearly understand all the dynamics of being a Moody Distance Learning student at an extension site, how to take courses, how to register, how to be familiar with Blackboard, and that sort of thing. And that's what we're going to be doing here. The way we've made the information accessible to you is we've simply made here under this announcements section, we've just laid the whole thing out to you. So you don't need to necessarily go in to do a whole lot here. Everything you need to do, I'm going to walk you through just real briefly. And again, you're not getting credit for what you're doing, but we do want you to record, to sign off that you have done this orientation and send it back to us for our records. So let me just briefly explain. I'll read through this and then show you how to do this orientation, and that'll be it. So as you read through this, as an overview, this orientation is designed to train and communicate new Moody students all key details of a successful academic experience. Orientation completion is mandatory, meaning we want everyone that takes an online class that hasn't done the orientation, even if you've done a class already, we'd like you to go ahead and do this orientation. And if you haven't taken a class yet, obviously you need to do the orientation. And then to contact us with questions. We understand there's going to be many more questions that you'll have along the way, maybe not initially, but throughout your studies. And we want you to, if nothing else, that you at least know who to contact if you've got questions. You can always call our main line at Moody, but we find that just doing these brief little orientation type things really helps students to understand and feel comfortable with contacting us for any needs that they have. So we've designed this first and foremost to ensure your success as a Moody student. So we want you to take these seriously, although a lot of these sessions will be somewhat informal. And really it's just, most of them are just videos that we want you to watch and go from there. So each orientation session was originally given on campus for the most part. You'll see that some of these are just clips similar to the same format as I'm doing here, where you'll see a little video of someone's face and then a screenshot. Some of them are videos of a classroom where students have been in a classroom given this same sort of information. At times, that'll be different students that weren't in an extension site but are online students in some sort of what we call a non-traditional sort of format. So down here, the study skills and time management session, I believe the payment plan and finances session, and then this classroom expectation session. These were actually all given to some of our students that are a part of a program where they take all their classes their first year just online at home, sprinkled throughout the globe, and then their next year the plan is that they would then come to campus here at Moody. So they're an interesting kind of non-traditional type of student, but they were here on campus and we were explaining many things about online learning, but there were also some elements of expectations of them eventually going to be in the classroom like you guys will be as extension site students. The reason why I communicate that is I want you guys to understand when you're watching a couple of these videos, who the person giving the lecture is speaking to. And so if something doesn't quite make sense as an extension site student, the likelihood that you need to worry too much about it is pretty slim. Just take it with a grain of salt that everything that we're wanting you to do as an extension site student is maybe a little bit different than a comment here or there that the person giving the lecture is saying to those students. So by and large, everything they say is for you, but just so that there's no confusion, if some comment or a question that a student asks is way out of left field and you don't know how to apply it to yourself, feel free to email us or call us and clarify. But by and large, it's probably something you don't need to worry about. So the orientation sessions, these are links that we want you to do. We want you to watch the videos and then verify that you watched them and understood them by filling out the online orientation overview document. Now, so in brief, we want you to, there's 6 sessions. We want you to either watch the video. Some of these are just brief articles here. So either watch the video, and then we essentially want you to fill out the online orientation overview document, which can be found here under course documents. Let's click on that, and you see this online orientation overview document. It's the first document. Open that up, and you can see here it just is a statement that you're signing that you did each session 1 through 6. So you're just stating, I've watched this session and I've read the articles, sign. Down here we're saying you've watched them and you know what it means to participate in an online classroom and what professors expect of me. Just sign and date, just so that you're giving your word that you watched, that you understand it, and more or less so that we can go back and at some point, and if a student is saying, I don't understand any of this stuff, you guys didn't do a good job training me, we go, well, did you watch the orientation videos and send it back like we asked you to do? And like, oh, there's no, neither the student or Moody has any record of that student sending back their orientation. They're like, oh, maybe you should go through the orientation and clarify some of these things. So again, you're not getting credit for this, but it's just something that we are requiring all our extension site students to do in order to prepare you as effectively as we can. Some of these things will just spark some questions. Oh, what they're talking about, I didn't quite understand all of that. I'm going to call Moody, and now you've got actually specific questions that you can ask, because you, after watching the videos, you should have somewhat of an idea how to ask some educated questions. So that's what we're asking you to do here, and all you have to do to complete this orientation is to sign and date that you've done each session 1 through 6. All right. So that again is under the course documents. You'll see some of the things that are mentioned in the videos. They'll talk about some handouts and flyers and that sort of thing. Those things are also located here. So these things aren't necessarily mandatory that you look at, but if you'd like to, some of the screens that are in the video, you may not be able to see the documents, and if we had those documents, we went ahead and put them here for you if you'd like to see those or print those out for yourself. So those documents are there as well. Okay, so basically, unlike a real course, you really just need to look at this announcement page. The links are right here. You would just click on them and go, and then hit that course documents folder to get that page that you need to sign. And then we're asking you to email it back to us at this address, extensions@moody.edu. Now, I'm going to briefly go through each thing that you're going to go, each session that you're going to go over here. So to start, you're going to want to make sure that some of the videos, they have a little password, FYOP orientation. That was the group that originally the videos were made for. So we're asking you guys to just basically, you would just put that as the password when you go and watch the videos. It won't be for all of them, but some of them. So that first session, just click on that. It'll take you to this Vimeo page, and I've actually already logged in. Let's see if I can log out. I may not be able to log out, but again, if it asks you to log in, you'll just click FYOP, or you'll fill in FYOP orientation, and then you just watch this video, and this video is on the history of Moody and the campus tour there, and then you'll see that these anniversary documentary films are available for you. This isn't so much going over distance learning as much as you, as a new Moody student, are having the benefit of seeing just what Moody is about. We've been around for over 125 years, almost 130 years now, and it's just helpful for students to get a little bit of an idea of who we are and what we're about. So we're asking you to watch those episodes 1 through 5. They're only 5 minutes each approximately. And then we have a couple articles on the history of Moody. You see that there. Read that, and then the D.L. Moody story, which is a nice summary of D.L. Moody, to read that. And then that is essentially session 1. Then in session 2, you click that. That is about an hour-long session on study skills and time management, and that is geared at students that are going to be completely online, but it's going to apply to you. The assignments are the same for an online student as they are for an extension site student. Really, the only difference in assignments is you'll hear them talking about like discussion boards that are due each week for online students. For you as an extension site student, typically a professor isn't going to require the discussion board element for you guys to complete during the week online. The professor, instead of that, is going to require your class participation as that discussion board part of the grade. So the discussion board, when there's a discussion board question, that's something that you want to be prepared to talk about in class, but that is really, and when you see the grading scale and that sort of thing under the discussion board element, that is really going to transition for an extension site student as their class participation. Okay, so hopefully that clarifies that when you see that in courses, and if they talk about that under any of the sessions there. So that's session 2. Then the session 3 is just a summary of Blackboard, and that's a short 15-minute video giving you an overview of how a Blackboard course works. And then you've got a session on My Moody and what you do in My Moody, some of the resources that you can find there, as well as the registering for classes and paying for classes, that sort of thing. And then finally, Payment Plan and Finances. This is a video about a half hour long going over payment plan and finances, and even like where to fill out your FAFSA form for financial aid, that sort of thing. So you want to definitely watch that and make sure you're comfortable with that, and to contact us at Distance Learning if you have any questions regarding that, okay? And then finally, there's a classroom expectations session. There's 2 parts of it, part 1 and part 2. And that again is going to be helpful for any student that's taking our courses, but it is geared in this this session is geared towards students that were completely online for that year. So just to take that with a grain of salt and understand who the professor is talking to in that video session. Okay, so again, you'll just go through each of these 6 sessions, and then you're going to fill out this form that's in the course documents folder. You will click on this, fill out the online orientation overview, sign and date, and then what we'd like you to do, you can either if you happen to have the computer capabilities of electronic signing, and then you can straight email it to us straight from there, wonderful. For most of you, I'm guessing the easiest thing will be to print this out, sign and date it, and then you can either take a picture of it with your phone and email it to that extensions website, again, that email address. So after you print and sign that document, you want to email it back to extensions@moody.edu. That's that email address here. So you can either scan it back to your computer, save it, and send it as an attachment to an email, or many people forget that with a smartphone you can just take a picture of it after you print it out and sign it, take a picture of it, and then email that picture to us at extensions@moody.edu, and then we've got record that you have completed that orientation. But the big thing is if you got any questions on these things, we've got a call center here that's here every day, Monday through Friday during business hours, to talk to you at 1-800-758-6352. You can also always email extensions@moody.edu with questions, and we'll respond to you that way as well. And ultimately, we just want you guys to be completely clear, cared for, and ready to go at your extension site as you begin classes or continue classes, and